Guys, I'm so excited because this week's drugstore deal or dump is going to be about setting sprays. So I love setting sprays. I use them all the time, pretty much daily. I don't leave the house and I don't travel without one. I just feel like it helps me look complete. It makes me feel complete. You know what I mean? So specifically, I'm going to be talking about one particular product, but then I thought, you know what? I also want to go over a few other setting sprays that I really like, that I have tried either for the first time or are ones that I kind of reach for all the time, and also which ones I like for certain skin types and for certain things. So I'll go over all of that. But the one I'm going to be testing out specifically and doing a wear test for is this right here. This is the Pixi Skin Treats Sun Mist with SPF 30. Now, this was really intriguing to me because I love my high-end one, which is the Coola Makeup Setting Spray with SPF 30. It's genius. It is a great way to reapply sunscreen throughout the day once you already have makeup on. A lot of women ask me, how do you reapply sunscreen after, you know, you have a full face of makeup on? What are you doing, like smothering it on top? And it's like, no. A lot of companies like Coola and even Color Science, I think there's a few other ones where they even have like the mineral sunscreen where you can put it on as a powder throughout the day. I love face mist because for me, I have more dry skin, so I like that feeling of bringing hydration back to my skin. This one also has hyaluronic acid in it, which is great. It's a big buzzword right now. It means like something that's going to help retain moisture and keep that hydration locked into your skin all day long. Some cons to this is that it does have a very strong chemical smell to it. It is a chemical sunscreen, so when you spray it on your face, I would recommend obviously close your eyes, don't breathe it in, but a lot of people do say they don't enjoy that part of it. Another high-end one that I do like is the Somerville SPF 50 Uncomplikated spray. It's pretty much the same idea. It's a soft focus makeup setting spray. It's almost like, I don't want to say this because it might turn some people off, but it's like spraying hairspray onto your face, but you don't get that sticky feeling. It does good stuff, but it is sunscreen. So just keep that in mind. So when I was doing some research, I was looking, I know Ulta has one, that's a pretty good one. I haven't tried that one yet and I wasn't able to get my hands on it. But I did come across this at Target, so I picked it up. And again, this is Sun Mist with chamomile and bamboo extracts. And it has titanium dioxide in it, which was the one thing about it that made me a little weary, because titanium dioxide, if you guys know what that is, it is found in a lot of sunscreens, but it has, if you can see, it has like a white tint to it. Do you see that? Whereas like the Coola does, it's completely transparent. So when I spray that onto my hand, I just got some in my face, it's completely transparent. And so that was a little I was kind of turned off by that, just because I'm also thinking about my girls with melanin. You know, a big issue for women of color is that you put sunscreen on and you feel like you get that gray cast on your face, and then you're like, my makeup doesn't look right and all that stuff. So I have a wear test on this. I'm going to share that. Before we actually get to the wear test, I just want to talk a little bit about setting sprays themselves. Like, what are they? Why do people use them? Why do I use it? How do I use it? All that good stuff. So setting spray in general is almost what you think, or what you might think it is. You are hopefully, in theory, setting your makeup and helping it last that much longer throughout the day. A lot of times women will say like, oh, I put my blush on in the morning and then by lunchtime it's completely gone. Same thing with shadows and whatnot. So the idea is that it's helping keep everything in place and just look really nice and fresh. That's why a lot of face mists are out there too. You can reapply throughout the day and it kind of just gives it a nice blended airbrushed look. For me specifically, I use setting sprays throughout my makeup process. So if you guys do follow me on Instagram and on stories and some of my lives that I do there, you will notice that I take a setting spray more with the dewy aspect to it, and I use it like after I put my foundation and my concealer. I usually set my under eyes with a little bit of setting powder. Once I do that, I will take my setting spray and I will liberally spray it around, let it sit for about 10 seconds, and then I'll go in with my highlight, because that's going to help make that pop a little bit more, and then I'll go finish up with blush or whatever it is. Then once I'm done with my makeup completely, I'll spray it again. So usually about 2 or 3 times throughout my makeup process, that's when I'll put a setting spray on. I feel like what that really does is that it helps make my makeup look really nice and clean, and also not cakey, because there are times, especially when I'm going out to an event or if I'm going to a wedding, I do use a lot of layers. And for me, the biggest thing is being able to see someone in person, not just on camera, but like in person, up close. Make it look glamorous, but also natural at the same time. You know what I mean? That's my technique and that's how I use it. And I feel like it really keeps everything locked in. I'm gonna try the Pixi Sun Mist. I do not have any setting spray on my face right now. Okay, I go in pretty heavy with my spray as well, setting spray or face mist, whatever it may be, just because I like that extra. I like to make sure I'm being covered, and especially with something like this that has SPF in it, I wanna make sure that I am being covered very well. Okay, so first impressions is that it is very light. I do not feel it, and it does not have an intense smell the way the Coola does. I did notice, and I'm just gonna spray this on my arm real quick, is that I felt like there was a little bit of a white, okay, yeah, do you see that? And so that's the titanium dioxide. Do you see the white tinge you're getting there? This is what causes that gray overcast on a lot of people. I did see in the Pixi, like I just went and watched the videos on YouTube or whatnot that the brand itself did, and they had recommended spraying a little bit onto your palm, so you can see it's white there, mixing it, applying it to your bare face, and then after you do your makeup, respraying it. As far as ingredient wise and what it's providing, I think it does a pretty, it's up to par with the Coola, aside from like the hyaluronic acid and some other extracts. As a first impression, I don't mind it. The only downside is that if you have darker skin tones and you're spraying something on and you can see the white, that's something that could be a little bothersome. I want to see how this sits throughout the day. It doesn't feel oily, but I feel like I have a sheen on my face. And so I just worry that because I didn't actually mix it into my face, that it might get a little bit patchy throughout the day, but we'll see. Because I'm already feeling glowy, but I'm also really hot right now, so we'll see. Okay, so it is around 6 o'clock and I'm checking in, and unfortunately, I'm so sad to report that I absolutely do not like this Pixi Sun Mist because my skin is so greasy. Look, if you guys can even see, I never, ever melt off of my, like my makeup does not go onto my lids. It doesn't bleed, and I am bleeding everywhere. Like I feel like I can touch myself and I just feel like a grease ball. So imagine if you have any less dry skin than it's just so bad. But I will say, if I'm on the beach, I have no problem wearing this. Like if I'm on a vacation and I can like rub it in, I have no problem with this. It's just more so as a face mist. So unfortunately, I'm gonna stick to my Coola, which has the SPF 30. If you guys come across any sort of drugstore alternatives, setting spray with an SPF in it, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm gonna unfortunately say that this is a dump. So save you 18 bucks and invest in the better version. All right guys, so you obviously know I did not like the Sun Mist at all. I really wanted to because it's a drugstore alternative. It's 18 bucks. It's just, you can't, it's a good one. It's under $20. Now let's go on to a few of my other drugstore faves. Let's start with the different kinds. There's like mattifying setting sprays, which are great for people who have more oily prone skin or that have more shine throughout the day in their T-zone. Mattifying ones are great. It's almost like it takes the place of a blotting paper, which I never really got into those, but you know, if you need to kind of touch up throughout the day, this is a great way to do that with a mattifying primer or setting spray, excuse me. And then there are more dewy or glow ones, which I tend to love the most because those really help bring more dull, dry skin look more glowy and kind of give you that J-Lo glow, you know what I mean? That we all strive for. I don't know who doesn't. If you're out there and you don't strive to have a J-Lo glow, then... And then you also just have like facial mists, which are really great for throughout the day, or if you're starting out your skincare routine, or if you're going like to the beach and do not want to wear any makeup, or you are wearing light makeup and you just want to have like a refresher kind of like facial mist. So those ones are usually the ones that have a little bit more of like the skincare benefits with the product themselves. So let's go over them now. I'm going to start with some of the glowy ones because that's my jam. This one, as you can see, is completely demolished. This is also Pixi, and it is one of my favorites. So Pixi, I still love ya, just not the Sun Mist. This one is the Skin Treats Glow Mist. I live for this one. It is a great dupe for the Cover FX Dewy setting spray. So I'm just gonna show you real quick how I like to use it. I usually hold it just about like 10 to 12 inches away. And I liberally spray all around and even kind of get this area. And I just let it sit for about 5 seconds, and then I proceed on with whatever I'm doing. One thing I absolutely look for in a setting spray is the little nozzle or the spritzer. That is a big deal for me. It can be a great formula, but if it doesn't spray evenly on my face, I am not going to like it, and I'll tell you why. If you spray and it sets on your face and you look really close and you have little specks or dots, that's like the residue of the spray not working all the way properly and it just sitting on your face, and it is my biggest pet peeve. So just imagine if you do your makeup and then you try and set it and then you see like dry little dots. Obviously to the naked eye it's not like super obvious, but like if you're looking up close and you see these little dots, you're like, oh, it's my setting spray and it just didn't, you know, get applied evenly. So sometimes that is the biggest thing that I don't like. And I might actually even take one that I like the formula for, but I don't like the nozzle, and I'll kind of put it in there. Like this Pixi one is a fantastic one. I do like the nozzle a lot, but it also just gives me a dewiness that I love. Another one that I really like is the L'Oreal Shake Glow Dew Mist. This one is, it's super cute, and I say cute just because the packaging is cute, but it has like a nice little sheen to it. So this would be great also for like body, if you want to have a little shine on your body and incorporate some highlight there. It has a slight floral scent. I'm a little sick right now, so I can't really smell everything, but it has like a little bit of fragrance to it. I personally don't like my setting sprays to have any scent to it. Like the Huda Beauty, the new one, the Resting Boss Face, it's a great mattifying setting spray, but it is very fragrant. Like I feel like I'm spraying cologne on my face, and so I don't like that so much because like the Pixi Glow Mist has no smell to it whatsoever, so I really like that. But this one is a great alternative, and it has just a tiny bit of shimmer, so if you don't like wearing highlight but you want that glow still, this is fantastic. So those are the two that I really do like if you want more of that dewy, glowy look. Now let's move on to mattifying primers. This one is probably the one that I absolutely love when I am going out all night and I want my face to just stay put and I might be getting pictures taken or something like that. This is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. So this one, and it's a 16-hour wear. I mean, when it says 12 hours, 16 hours, does it really do that? I don't know, but what I do like about this is that when I am feeling like I'm going to be out for a wedding, let's say I'm going out for a wedding in the morning and then I'm gonna have lunch and then I have to, you know, go to the reception afterwards, but I'm gonna be out in the sun all day and then later. It just does a really good job of keeping everything in place and also just, again, giving you that nice smooth look of your entire complexion. And so I really like that. The other reason I like this one is like if you have a problem with your makeup slipping, and when I say slipping is that like if you put blush on or you put foundation and then you notice that like the slightest touch it might move, this is a great one because I personally feel there's nothing out there that's going to prevent something from coming off completely. Like, I'm sorry, if you rub against someone, chances are some makeup or something is going to transfer onto that. But for the most part, if it's just because of sun or heat or sweat that is causing your makeup to slip, this is a great one to help prevent that. And again, my technique is I like to evenly spray all over. The only downside to this one is that this spritzer is pretty strong. So when you're applying it, make sure you do stay like a little bit even further than 12 inches back and spray. Oh, and then one other thing, this Milani one is a great dupe for the Urban Decay All Nighter. I know that's a big favorite. It's a cult favorite for a lot of people, and I feel like this one does exactly what that does. So check this one out if you're looking to save a few bucks. And then one that I recently found that I'm liking a lot is from Joah. This is the Selfie Ready setting spray. It's also matte. This is a K-beauty brand that I recently discovered at CVS. And this one, the smell is so good because it's like baby powder fresh. So I love that. And I actually love the spray on this as much as I do like my Pixi one. Oh, that's good. I like this one a lot. This one's great. This one is actually an in-between between the Glow Mist and the mattifying spray, the Milani one. This is a good one if you don't really know where to go and what direction you should go, if you should get matte or if you want to do glowy. I feel like this one is a good in between. Now let's move on to just general face mists that I'm really liking and I have around. I keep them everywhere just because I feel like I always need a pick-me-up. They're not necessarily there to set your makeup. Let me just say that, because sometimes people say like, oh, I used this toner to set my makeup and it didn't work. I would say if you are really trying to set your makeup, go for a setting spray, like an actual one that says it's going to set it. So let's start with this. This is the Yes brand, Yes to Coconut Ultra Hydrating Mistified Moisturizer. And so this is for dry skin. So I was drawn to this one. It comes with 4 floor ounces. That's a lot. I love the spray. It has a coconut scent to it. But when I put this on, I don't feel like it did that much for me. You know what I mean? Even as a refresher, like when I'm getting a refresher, I feel like you can tell the difference. You may be like, how can you even really tell the difference? I'll tell you, like ever since I was introduced to the Cover FX Dewy Mist Spray and I've tried other setting sprays, I'm like, oh my gosh, I get that there is a difference between setting sprays. There really is. Like, you notice how your skin automatically or immediately reacts to it, and you see like how your makeup wears even instantly afterwards or even a few hours after. It just, I don't know, I can tell. So I would not use this for a setting spray, but it's not even marketed as one. I would say that this is a good one if, again, you're at the beach and you just kind of want a refresher, or throughout the day you want a refresher, like maybe after working out, stuff like that. So this one is kind of a dump for me. I would say save your money. You don't really need to invest in this one. I mean, if you think about it, these setting sprays, some range for under $10 and some range close to 20, but you know, it's like, use it on something else. This one I absolutely love. It is from Trader Joe's and it is the Rose Toner. So Rose Water Facial Toner. Rose water to me is something I grew up with. My mom always used to have it around the house and she used to actually use it as a toner, and so I started doing that. It's a great anti-inflammatory. It's great for sensitive skin. It's good stuff. So this is one of those where it's a face mist that also has like the skin skincare properties to it. I could just spray all day. It smells good. It's light. It spritzes on really evenly. And the best part is you can pick it up while you're also getting your eggs and milk. So yes to this. Big deal for this one. This one is not available per se at drugstores. I think you can get it at Ulta. This is the DHC Super Collagen Mist. Now, again, anything that says like hyaluronic acid or collagen, you always feel like, oh, I'm adding something back to my skin that I otherwise wouldn't be doing. So the collagen, again, is something like, if you think about collagen, you're plumping your skin, you're bringing that youthfulness back. So this one I do use as a setting spray as well, and I personally love it as a hydrating mist and a setting spray. So, oh, it's good. It's a good one. This one is a good one, and the spritzer on this, again, I forgot how much I really like this one. Last but not least, is the Garnier Skinactive Soothing Facial Mist. And again, this one is made with rose water. The reason I'm pointing this one out is because it actually comes in other formulas. Like, it's not just rose water. I think they have like a cucumber one, but this one is fantastic if you are looking for an everyday facial mist that you can, or if you just want to ease into the idea of setting sprays or facial mist, you know? It's light. It has a slight fragrance smell to it, but again, you don't have to get rose, you can get something else, and it's readily available. Sometimes people that are watching are like, I don't have Trader Joe's near me, or things like that. So I wanted to include that one as well. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it. I kind of went over all the setting sprays that I'm really into right now. If you have any that you absolutely love, let me know in the comments below. Also, I know that I think last week or the week before I did the concealer one where I did a full range of various drugstore concealers, and then this week I talked about a larger range of setting sprays. So you might see me intermittently kind of doing a larger look of a certain product. Otherwise, you might just see me doing one particular product. So yeah, I'm just figuring out the series as I go, but sometimes I feel like doing a more collective look at a product is more beneficial to you gals. So again, remember, there's a giveaway every week that I do this series. There's a giveaway, so be sure to check out the rules down below and let me know what you want to see next. If there is one particular product that you've been eyeing that you're like, I don't know, let me know. And that's it, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, because I would love you forever if you do that, and we can be friends forever. I'm just kidding. Unless you want to be friends forever, we can be friends forever. All right, guys, enough talking. I will see you next time. Bye.